Prologue. His arms were my only sanctuary in a world that smelled of smoke and betrayal. Dawson's chin rested on the crown of my head, his voice a low rumble against my ear. I'll never let you lose, Blair, he murmured, the words a sacred vow in the sudden silence of the room. Not to them, not to anyone ever. I clung to him, the sharp edges of the poker chip still a phantom press against my palms. Lose. We had already lost so much tonight, and he had no idea that I was the one who just gambled everything. We had left. The wedding reception was winding down when the trouble started. The scent of spilled champagne and wilting flowers hung in the air of the community hall, a sweet, cloying perfume of a day that was supposed to be perfect. My husband, Dawson, half drunk and beaming, had been pulled away by my relatives for a friendly game of cards in the back room. Less than 2 hours later, my Aunt Jean sidled up to me, her smile as thin as a razor wire. Your man's on a bad streak, she said, a glint of something ugly in her eyes. He's lost quite a bit on my wedding day in our small Rust Belt town. How much could a bit be? I found the back room shrouded in a thick haze of cheap cigar smoke. Dawson was at the center of a tight circle of men, his head lolling, a strange expression on his face that was half grin, half grimace. On the table, the usual $1 green chips were gone. In their place were red chips I'd never seen before, stark as bloodstains on the warm green felt. A single word was stamped on them in white: 10,000. My heart seized, but my brain immediately rejected it. It was impossible. The average monthly salary in this town barely broke $2,000. No one here was playing for 10 grand a pop. Dawson, surrounded by my family, was flushed and sweating, his eyes fixated on the cards. 3-card brag, 3 cards each. Across from him sat my Uncle Marty. Flanking them were my cousin Rick, my other uncle, and a neighbor's son, a kid named Dale. A whole other circle of onlookers hedged them in, their faces greedy and rapt. I forced a smile. Honey, Mom and Dad are looking for us. Let's call it a night. Dawson squinted at me, shook his head slowly. Gotta win it back, Lou, he slurred, using his pet name for me. Win what back? Giving some money to family on our wedding day is good luck. How much is it? I'll cover it. He just grinned, a dopey vacant grin, and motioned for Uncle Marty to deal. Uncle Marty, I said, my voice hardening. How much has he lost? Marty's lips quirked into a smirk, a mirror of his sister Jean's. He ignored me and started shuffling the deck. That's when a hot wire of fury snapped inside me. I slapped my hand on Dawson's shoulder. We're going home now. Gotta win it back, he repeated like a broken record. I hooked my fingers around the collar of his new suit and hauled him to his feet. Only then did Marty and the others move to stop me. Now, Blair, don't be like that, Marty said, his voice oozing false concern. He's just having a little fun with family. You city girls are all so uptight. Guess we know who wears the pants in this relationship. Huh, it was true. I had a reputation for being tough. I didn't take crap from anyone. Dawson was the exception. He was so good to me, so gentle, that I'd started to see him as an extension of myself, but in the instant I was distracted by Marty's words. Dawson had already slumped back down at the table. Uncle Marty, we have 100 things to do. We'll play next time we're in town, I promise. Aunt Jean threw her cards down in disgust. Fine, fine, let them go. Don't want to be accused of bullying the groom. My cousin Rick grumbled. All right, let's tally up. I'm up 9 of these, Uncle Marty said. I've got 11. Aunt Jean counted hers. 6 for me. 7, 5. Marty did the math in his head. 38 in total. Thanks for the wedding gift, nephew. I pulled out my phone, ready to transfer the money via payment app. He's drunk. I'll pay $38. 38,000. Marty said, his voice flat. I thought I'd misheard. What? $38,000,000,000. As in, with 3 zeros. Yeah, are you deaf? It's written right here on the chip. 10,000 each. I put my phone away, the anger in my chest turning into a cold, heavy dread. You're playing that high. Uncle Marty feigned innocence. It was your husband who wanted to make it exciting. He agreed to the stakes. I leaned down, my face inches from Dawson's, my voice a venomous whisper. Do you know you just lost $38,000? He gave me that goofy, lopsided smile and wrapped an arm around my waist. His breath a foul wave of alcohol. Gotta make you proud, Lou. Show 'em we're not pushovers. He once told me he hated gambling more than anything in the world. He'd sworn an oath never to gamble ever. If he did, he'd be reincarnated as a pig for 3 lifetimes. Looking at this drooling idiot, his eyes glazed over with greed for the plastic chips. I wanted to claw them out. Uncle, Aunt, I said, my voice pleading now. He's new to the family. Don't do this to him. Aunt Jean bristled instantly. What are you implying? Blair, that we cheated. How dare you? Then she leaned in, her voice a conspiratorial hiss in my ear. I stopped them from making it 100 grand a chip. You should be thanking me. This is too much money. It's a crime. We can't play for this much, I begged, looking around at their stony faces. How about this? I'll send each of you $1,000. A thank you for coming to our wedding. $1,000 each. 5 grand. For most people in this town, that was 2 or 3 months' wages, but they didn't agree. They didn't disagree either. They just stared at me. After a tense moment, a new voice, old and reedy, cut through the silence from behind me. A bet's a bet. Once you're at the table, you can't just walk away. That brings bad luck on the house. I turned. It was old man Barlow, the owner of the hardware store where this backroom was located. He was a kind, grandfatherly figure who'd just wished us well at the reception. Now he was talking about the sacred rules of a $38,000 debt. Mr. Barlow, if the cops knew about this, they'd shut this whole place down. I warned. You can threaten me all you want, girl. I'm old enough to be in the ground, but in my establishment, the rules are the rules. I scanned the room and suddenly, I understood the strange, gloating expressions on every single face. It all clicked into place. This was a setup. Uncle Marty just smiled and patted my arm. Winning and losing, it's all part of the game. You lose some, you win some. Don't look so sour. So you're saying if I don't pay the $38,000, you won't let us leave? Of course not. We wouldn't hold you captive, but debts have to be paid. If you can't, well, I'm sure your parents can. My parents couldn't afford $38,000. If they could, they wouldn't have held my wedding reception in a dingy community hall with cheap catering. They were banking on the fact that my family was an easy mark. They knew we'd be too proud, too concerned with our reputation, to refuse to pay. Aunt Jean chimed in, her voice dripping with malice. Your folks were running their mouths at the reception, Blair, telling everyone about the $38,800 wedding gift Dawson's family gave you. It's not like you can't afford it. Don't play poor with us. The $38,800 gift was a lie. Dawson was an orphan raised by his grandfather. We had saved that money together, every last penny, but to avoid gossip and save face, we'd told my parents it was a gift from his side. I told my father a dozen times not to mention it to anyone, but a few beers, and his need to show off had taken over. A $38,800 gift, a $38,000 loss. They'd been kind enough to leave us the $800. Your parents are here, Aunt Jean said. said, pointing toward the door. My mom, dad, and younger brother walked in. Seeing Dawson slumped at the table, my dad chuckled, still at it. You guys have fun, not much else to do in this town. I let out a cold, bitter laugh. Fun? What fun? Your new son-in-law just lost $38,000. Uncle Marty and the others are here to collect. What? My dad croaked. I practically screamed it. $38,000. 38 who? Your son-in-law. The one who's so drunk he can't see straight. My dad's face went pale. Is this true? He asked Marty. Big brother. Marty said gravely, there are no family ties at the poker table. Your son-in-law did indeed lose $38,000. We have witnesses. My mother shrieked and collapsed, my brother catching her just in time. 38,000. That's a down payment on a house. How could this happen? What are we going to do? She wailed. The commotion drew more people from the reception, all familiar faces from the town, all watching the spectacle unfold. Uncle Marty added, his voice dripping with false reason. It is a lot of money, but he agreed to it, and he was winning at first. You know how cards are. Luck comes and goes. A few more hands, and he might have won it all back. A chorus of onlookers nodded in agreement. Yeah, that's right. My dad looked at me, his eyes pleading. Did you play? I shook my head. I just got here. He walked over to Dawson, then turned back to the room, his face a mask of tragic dignity. We Kendricks value our name. Dawson is one of us now. A loss is a loss. We'll pay it. I was stunned. I could argue with Marty and Jean. I could threaten to call the cops, but with my own father acknowledging the debt, it became real, binding. He pulled me aside, his voice choked with emotion. Your mother and I have lived in this town our whole lives without anyone pointing a finger at us. I won't let our son-in-law be shamed. We'll sell the house. We'll drain our savings. We'll use the gift money. If it's not enough, your mother and I can go back to work. Your brother can help. We can't let people think we're deadbeats. My brother, holding up my sobbing mother, gave me a helpless look. It's okay, Blair. I can get a second job. We'll manage. My family, their reputation was worth more than their future. Dawson, roused by the noise, staggered to his feet and clung to me, mumbling, babe, I can win it back. I know I can. The tragic resolve I'd felt moments before ignited.